Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Roadmap, Benzinga's new NFT show where we talk all things NFTs. The last few episodes, we've had some great interviews with the teams behind the Vogu Collective and the Doge Pound NFT. Today we have an exciting show filled with the information side of things and some ideas on what to look for in new projects. So without further ado, this is The Roadmap. Awesome. So, guys, let's kick off the roadmap. I'm going to go ahead and bring on my co-host, Maz. How we doing, buddy?
What's going on, Chris? What's going on, everybody? Pleasure to be here. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing great. You know, NFTs, they're still hot. They're still moving. We're seeing a ton of projects out there. You know, there's dozens of them launched every week. So we don't have time to spend on each project, unfortunately. But Mass, today's episode, you know, no interview. We're going to be diving into the information and research side of things. So, you know, hopefully everyone out there enjoys this episode. Go ahead, give us feedback. Let us know in the chat if you are enjoying this episode and want more research on NFTs. So, Maz, first up, we've got some news over the past week, and this is really exciting for the NFT industry. So Cool Cats, a project of 9,999 blue cats that launched earlier this year, a collaboration with Time Magazine. So the president of Time Magazine, Keith Grossman, he's been a vocal supporter of Cool Cats for a while. He wanted to partner with them, and sure enough, we got the news out there. So they're also going to launch a meme contest where people can vote on the best meme, and they're going to give away 8 new Cool Cats for this Time collab, and then also 392 additional Cool Cats will be raffled off to Cool Cats holders who enter a contest. That contest runs August 13th through August 20th. Cool Cats launched with a cost of 0.02 earlier this year. The floor price is over 1 ETH. I mean, Maz, look at that artwork, these new NFTs, Cool Cats and Time Magazine. What do you think?
Well, fun fact. So Cool Cats was my very first NFT purchase when I started the whole NFT world. So it's exciting to see how far they've come in such a little time. It's been about a month since I've bought one. So, you know, I love it. I love these pieces. You know, I love how mainstream they are able, you know, the designs are able to, you know, be. They connect with the younger demographic, with the older demographic, and just an overall good project run by an amazing team.
Yeah, one of the things that I really liked that the Time president said is he called this a family-friendly project. Yeah. And Time Magazine, they also have Time for Kids as one of their magazines. So he actually emphasized how important it was to have, you know, a family fun project. That meme contest, also, those memes have to be family friendly. I kind of like how it bridges the gap, like you said, you know, that this is a fun project, kind of cool for all ages. And really, I mean, Maz, you said it, that this really, you know, helps put NFTs further and further on the map. I mean, this is getting them a huge spotlight. Time Magazine, I mean, one of the most well-known magazines out there, huge, huge, huge. Will you be participating in that meme contest? Have you thought of any fun ideas? I'm still at the drawing board here.
So I make my occasional memes, but I haven't thought of any yet. But I'm gonna probably do some brainstorming this week and try to, you know, participate. Absolutely.
I mean, you might as well, right? If they've got 8 to give away, and for me, I'm not a holder of a Cool Cat, so the only way I can get one of these Time collab Cool Cats is to be lucky enough to win the meme contest and get one of those 8. If you still have that Cool Cat, Maz, you can win one of those 392 that they're giving away as being a holder. So you got a little bit better odds than me here.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'm holding my cat. I have no plan on selling it, so I will definitely participate and hopefully try to get one of those because they look really cool.
Yeah, definitely. So, guys, let us know in the chat, will you be participating in this meme contest? Do you own a cool cat? I mean, this really has been one of the big mainstream NFT projects. Like I said, a mint cost of 0.02. The floor is over 1. It's been a good return for anyone who's held, and they continue to just see strong activity on the leaderboard. I mean, I've seen it in the top 20 for weeks and weeks now. So, Cool Cats, I don't think going away. And I think if anything, this time collaboration is just going to further validate their status as a top project.
Absolutely. And they launched apparel and merch this weekend, by the way, this past weekend.
Yeah,
so
I
saw
some of that
stuff too.
Yeah. Did you bought some?
Yeah, I bought a mug and like a nice little long sleeve sweatshirt. So I'm excited for that to come.
Yeah, so apparel and merch. And then, Maz, I also heard that we're going to get breeding coming from Cool Cats in the future. They haven't shared a ton of details on that. But, a lot of these projects, if you want to stick around, keep that community, keep the valuation going, I think it's important part of the roadmap to have, breeding or burning or some sort of element to provide value. And Cool Cats, I mean, just knocking it out of the park here, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm so excited for the future of this project. It's one of those pieces where it's just one of my long-term holds. No plan on selling it. Super excited about the project and the Discord itself. The community is so strong, and it's awesome to be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. And then we've got to talk about our last interview we had on here.
Oh, yeah.
So we had the Doge Pound on here, right? The founder of that project. Since he was on, they actually announced, so we talked about those puppies, right? And that big question, when puppies? They put out a tweet the other day that we are getting Doge Pound puppies on September 1st. So that is the date. If you're looking to get into this project, get one of those puppies. I'm seeing a floor price right now while the show is taping of about 0.69 ETH. That's actually down from when we did the interview. Maz, I keep trying to, say, hey, I want to get one of these. I'm saving up my ETH here. I really think that those puppies are going to take off and be more valuable than the adult Doges here. What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, they're number one, they're way cuter. I have to admit, they're really cute. So that attracts a whole different, like same thing with the cats. You have kids, these images attract them and they like those things. So that's cool. And yeah, I'm looking for one myself. I haven't been able to find one. So yeah,
I mean, look at that. Like,
come on,
who doesn't want that Doge puppy, in their NFT collection? And again, providing value for holders of your project. I think that's important. The Doge Pound said that from the start. They laid out their roadmap, and that was one of the things they always were going to have was puppies. So I definitely think there's some value in getting behind this project. And as I said, we've got a couple weeks till September 1st. And then, Maz, our first interview we did, we had the Vogu Collective on, right? The awesome team. And they actually had news out today as well. So we got a tweet from them, and it has this: incoming transmission from the Vogu Collective, free to all Vogu holders, the multi-utility Terra tracking system MUTS, a must-have for any TAR owner. More info coming soon. And there's that video there on screen. So, I mean, again, another project. This one's not that old, Maz. I mean, this is a couple weeks old, and holders of Vogu are already getting rewarded with an airdrop. What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, I saw the alert this morning, and I think the floor rose right away, right? So it's like at 0.55 right now, I think.
Yep, 0.55 is what I'm seeing now. What was it earlier? I had not been paying attention to the floor on this one, probably as much as I should have been.
Yeah, it was fluctuating around like 0.45, 0.50 is where it was at this weekend every time I checked. So it was a nice little bump there. So
yeah, and there you see the floor there. And, Maz, I got to think that this one just rises, right? One of the thing with these airdrops, when a company says more details soon, if you're in the Discord, you can sometimes time these, right? Because usually you get the announcement of, okay, everyone, we're going to take the snapshot at 7 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, right? And then hey, if I want to own one, I got to be in before this. Well, that means the floor can rise again between
Exactly.
now and that announcement. I mean, for someone like me who follows stocks so closely, you get that all the time, right? Where they share news that's coming, and then when they actually share the news, you get a bump up again. So I think you actually have an opportunity here if you want to get into Vogu, maybe getting in now before the floor rises once again when they actually unveil this project.
Absolutely. I'm super excited for that. And speaking of airdrops, you know, we had Slumberginis being airdropped to the Slumdoge Billionaire holders this weekend. And I know you got one. I got one. What'd you think?
Yeah, you know, so this is, I'm glad you brought that up, Maz. This is the one that I have been holding for a little while, and I've been looking forward to getting my Slumbergini here, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, guys, again, we talk about airdrops, we talk about future values of projects. So I owned a Slumdoge. I think I paid about 0.068 or 0.069 for mine. And then I got a free airdrop, so no gas, a Slumbergini. So there's mine right there on screen. It's got the little guy on the front there shooting. We got a helicopter. I got the Just Married cans on the back. You know, a decent one. The tie-dye paint, I think, was only 2%. So that's mine. And then do we have Maz's? There's Maz's.
I
love the wheels
love
there.
More.
See, I know. I like mine. I think mine said stonks on the wheel. You got the Dogecoin logo there kind of on the wheels. I like that. And then Alyssa, our producer, also has, look at that. So, I mean, we got the cop car, we got the fishing pole there. And then also, Maz, I don't know if you saw these. I didn't get one myself, but there were even some Bernie Sanders Slumberginis.
I love those.
I mean, look at how cool those are. You got Bernie from the inauguration ceremony with his mittens sitting on the car. There also was the Boss Logic one-of-one designed ones. Those ones were going, you know, for a couple ETH each. But Maz, I was trying to decide what I wanted to do. You know, did I want to sell my Slumbergini? Did I want to sell my Slumdoge? Did I want to hold both? Right now, I'm holding both of them. The value of the Slumberginis has come down a little bit. The floor was, I think, 0.08 when those were released. Now it's about 0.05, I think. What are you thinking? Are you holding on to both of these assets here?
Yeah, so I'm holding on to both as well. You know, I'm noticing a slight correction on a lot of projects. And, you know, I love all of these pieces. So it's very hard for me to just sell them at a, you know, loss. So I definitely am holding. I love this project. I definitely think it's undervalued. You know, these cars look cool. I like the images, so I'm holding. What about you?
Yeah, I'm holding. And Maz, let me tell you, we actually have another event coming up. We don't have a time on it, but Slumdoge, they announced not too long ago that they're also creating spacecraft NFTs. But these are going to be a little bit different. They're going to be done with some artists and also their own artist, a super limited run, they said. But the catch is that you actually have to swap your Slumdoge for the spacecraft. So you would burn your Slumdoge, take him out of circulation, but you'd get the spacecraft. So, you know, this is a future event. It could provide you, right, with a valuable asset, the spacecraft, but then also you lose your original Slumdoge. And then the valuation of Slumdoges could rise because there's no longer going to be 10,000 out in circulation. So what are your thoughts on, you know, that event that we have to kind of look forward to in the future here?
See, I love that. I think that's such a cool idea. And these projects are starting to get more innovative because there's more competition. So they have to do these things to really make you want to hold these pieces and build long-term value with them. So that's a really cool idea. I love it. And I'm going to look more into that and, you know, see if I trade mine for a spacecraft or just hold it because there'll be less supply. See, so now it gives us a choice. You know, that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and that's the tough part, Maz. I mean, I only own one. This makes me want to own two, right? Because I want to see the valuation of Slumdoge go up, but I also want one of those rockets. I mean, who doesn't want to own a rocket ship? And the fact that it's also probably going to have a Doge somewhere on the rocket. I mean, color me intrigued. I will probably burn mine for the spacecraft as of now. But as you pointed out, you know, providing value, you know, 10,000 Slumdoges out there. I really think that this helps, right? So we have a floor right now of 0.05 or 0.06. If they can knock down that circulation of 10,000, I mean, I really think that helps, the floor rise. And so many of these projects are 10,000, which really is a decent sized number. Where, doing a burn project or breeding or something like that lowers the supply, I think can create a great long-term value for the holders.
Absolutely. Yeah. So again, it's so early, and just kind of like Cool Cats, right? You minted at 0.02 and look at where they're at now. A lot of these projects is still so early. So yeah, it's going to be exciting to see that.
Yeah, definitely. And then we've got to talk a big sale, Maz. I mean, this one is just insane, right? We have the Art Blocks curated, the Squiggle, going for 750 ETH, a record sale, number 3784. There it is on screen. And Maz, you even pointed out to me earlier that the owner bought this for 0.035 ETH 8 months ago.
Yep.
I mean, talk about an insane return on investment. This is absolutely bonkers. What do you think of this artwork and also Art Blocks?
Well, number one, big fan of Art Blocks. I'm working my way to get, I have a couple of their pieces, but I do want one of their main pieces. So I'm working my way towards that. I love where they're headed. I think they have a big future ahead of them, but this is absolutely insane and good for the person that minted this. I'm sure this is life-changing, and it's great for the industry to see these type of sales, continue to happen. But wow, man, I wish I was that guy. I'm going to be honest with you. That's amazing.
Yeah, same here. The thing I'm seeing with Art Blocks, Maz, is I really think Art Blocks they're attracting a lot of venture capitalist dollars right now. And I think the reason why is when you look at these pieces, we're not talking, PFP profile pictures here anymore, right? We're talking digital art. And this is similar to people who collect physical art, right? You hang it on your wall. The difference here is obviously this is digital. They're one-of-one pieces. But I really think that the Art Block series, I mean, they're an innovator, and they really have shown that they can dominate, the digital art side of things here.
Absolutely. Yeah, and they stand out. And I do see, maybe a trend, shifting from the PFPs to more of this, type of art. And Art Blocks is definitely the leader in that category. So we will see. But yeah, seeing this sale is exciting for the industry.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you can only have, well, I guess if you have multiple social media accounts, you can have multiple profile pictures. You can only have so many PFPs, right? So at the end of the day, if you're buying these projects, you're probably buying them to flip them, or, to maybe change your profile down the road. But a lot of people maybe are moving past PFPs and looking at, how do I build long-term value? And a project like Art Blocks could be the answer to that. And Maz, we're seeing the floor on some of these Art Blocks projects just get swept so fast, right? And it's venture capitalists. It's big money, right? It's big investors. They come in with millions of dollars and they decide, hey, I really like this particular Art Blocks project. I'm going to buy the floor outright now. And it happens so fast. And, I want to get in on some of these Art Block projects because I just feel like the long-term value is there. They're not so much of a day trade, right? The minting, because they have raised their price. They're doing the Dutch auctions now. But the actual, long-term value, I really think is there on Art Blocks.
Absolutely. And do you have any of your favorite pieces from the project?
I don't own any right now. It's a little bit, but I have been looking at some of the recent series, because they do have a little bit cheaper of the floor. That's where I'm looking, and maybe some of the ones that haven't gotten swept as much, with the floor price there.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the flowers. I've collected those. I think they're around anywhere from 0.06 to 10. So they're really cool. I like those a lot.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that price point. I mean, that's really what I'm looking for right now. Someone who wants to branch out into a bunch of different NFTs. I'm looking at stuff, under 0.1 because I want to get my hands in a bunch of different markets, a bunch of different areas. So that's a good one to look at, the flowers. So Maz, up next, we've got Alpha Betty. So this is a cool project, right? And this is some pretty cool artwork. And we're seeing some big names in this one, right? So we have Gary V. He's been buying up some of these Alpha Betties. And then I just saw that we got Denver Broncos players buying these as well. And then also, I'm seeing the floor kind of change all over the place. I saw the floor over 0.1. Now we're back down to 0.07. What are your thoughts on the Alphabeti project here?
Well, I have 2 of them, and I love them. I love what they stand for. They're definitely much different. Their cause and things that they're doing with the children. But yeah, it's exciting to see Gary Vee and a lot of these Denver Broncos players buy these pieces. Yeah, they're definitely unique. I would say it's one of my most unique pieces as far as what I've bought. But I love what they stand for. Yeah, I think that's mine. Yeah, that's the one I have.
Yeah, with the Bitcoin, I love that.
With the Bitcoin.
Maz, I think you mentioned it at the top of the show when we were talking about Cool Cats. I mean, this is a project where the artwork, it can appeal, I think, to all ages, right? I mean, I think my kids, they would love something like this, right? The artwork on it. Also their cause, right? They're supporting children's literacy. And I mean, that is huge, right? We've got a lot of these PFP projects, where they're supporting different animal organizations or other charities, all doing great work. But I really think the Alphabeti with the children's literacy can really, bridge to some, possibly a new audience of NFT collectors, because that's a cause I think a lot of people are passionate about.
Absolutely. I don't have any kids, but if I did, they would love it. And I can see like a child's show with these characters would absolutely be amazing,
Yeah, I mean, I see that picture and I think, why is this not a cartoon on one of the networks or one of the streaming providers? I mean, that artwork just jumps out. And, this is one I keep, thinking, I probably need to own some of these, right? And especially at 0.06 floor right now, I think we see these go higher, past 0.1 again. I know you've talked before about the Bitcoin part of that. Are there any other traits that you've been looking at?
The Ethereum one right there. You just passed
there we go.
It.
Yep, we got Ethereum.
Like
I think those. I saw, was that a lightsaber on some of those too? It looked like, yep, those are the ones that I like because I feel like my kids would love the lightsaber connection as well. But that artwork is so cool. This looks like a great project here. Alphabeti's doodles. And then next up, we've got World of Women.
Yeah.
So this is one that I actually called out at 0.06 because Gary Vee, he shared a morning video. This was on a weekend, I think a Saturday. He did this real casual video from his house, and he was talking about some cheap projects, right? Because, again, not everyone can afford to spend an ETH at a time on some of these, old projects. So you want to get in. So World of Women was trading at 0.06 when Gary Vee called it out. And now look at that floor price, 0.89. We got Gary Vee owning some. We got Logan Paul now owning some and tweeting about it. Also, this is a women-led project, which we're seeing also become a big trend, right? That people want to invest in the projects led by women. We did get some where it turned out that wasn't the case, which actually made World of Women go up more. I mean, this is really, really cool artwork here. What do you think of this project, Matt?
Well, first of all, man, I remember when he posted about it, and I didn't read it till later, and I was just like, I didn't really take action on it. So seeing this now, I'm kind of a little sour, but I do love the project. I wish I would have got one.
I'm very sour as well.
Oh man. But it's exciting to see Gary Vee buying some. Logan Paul bought some and tweeted about it. So, again, these are cool as well. They stand out from, we're starting to see a lot of the same things, and I feel these pop out. And again, I think we like a cause, it's supported, by women. So that helps. And, it's really cool to see that. I'm a big fan of the project as well. I just wish I would have gotten earlier, and I wish I'd have listened to your post when you talked about it.
I mean, again, we can't buy every single project. That's the unfortunate part about this. I really wish, that I could have. But this is going to be one of those ones that I will be kicking myself for a while. The news is I don't know if the move is actually done. I just don't know if I want to spend 0.9 right now, knowing I could have owned it at 0.06. That's hard for me to grasp right now. But I think this could have some long-term value. I think it's going to be one of the OG women-led NFT artwork projects out there, which I think is going to keep its value going, maybe even when some of these other, NFT projects years from now start to kind of falter away. So definitely take a look at that, guys, watching if you have not. Up next, we've got Incognito, Maz. this was an interesting one. You know, I saw it get talked about, and the demand for it started to just pop, right?
Yeah.
And then when this launched, we saw it sell out in 6 minutes. We saw huge gas wars. And then, you know, the projects were revealed, and now we're seeing a floor of about 0.1. Logan Paul owns 40 of them, I think it is. You know, this is an interesting project. You know, the artwork, I don't know if I love it, right? They're kind of unique avatars here. What do you think of Incognito? Any thoughts on this one?
So this is a project that I'm not familiar with at all. I just heard about it, I think, was it yesterday, slightly? I've seen some pictures of them. I haven't done any research on them, but I do see, yeah, there we go. I saw the one with the hoodie.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
You know, I don't want to take away from it, but to me, I mean, I was a little surprised that this one had such huge demand right away. You know, whereas, you know, it doesn't really jump out as a PFP like some of these other projects do. But I think, you know, obviously Logan Paul attaching himself to this. There were some other big names tweeting about it. So it did get a lot of interest. The floor has come down. It's about 0.1. I mean, I think it was super high right away before they were revealed. So I don't know. It's an interesting one to look at for sure. And then another
How many pieces were minted?
I think it was 10,000.
Okay.
Another big one. Right? Yep, 10,000. So another big one we had was Cyberkongs. And this is one, again, I didn't know a ton about this one ahead of time. But all of a sudden, it just jumped off the charts in terms of demand, right? And there's only 3,000 of these. So this is a smaller one. And people were paying, I mean, huge amounts for these plus gas. And then they were actually selling them for less than what they paid. You know, so, you know, it creates that whole battle of, you know, gas, right? And when you're minting a project, you're paying huge gas. And then if you're just turning around and selling it, it almost doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Yeah, and I've seen that happen a couple times actually this week, where people pay more and they relist it at a lower price right away, which is, I don't understand that.
Yeah,
I don't know why people do that.
It doesn't make a ton of sense. I know everyone wants to free up liquidity, but ultimately you're just hurting your value and losing money along the way. So again, Cyberkongs, not one I was as familiar with, but definitely saw huge interest. And we've got a floor of over 1 ETH right now. I mean, which is not bad for a project that just launched. Another big one I saw that I didn't get into because gas just took off so much was Galaxy Fight Club. This one I've had my eye on for a while. I mean, anytime you can see a company call themselves and say they're building the Super Smash Brothers for the NFT universe, I mean, that gets me excited. This is a company working on a mobile game, a PC game, where you can actually fight with your avatars, player versus player. So they minted a total of 9,994. They have not revealed them at the time of this taping. So we are actually seeing a lower floor price than we saw yesterday after the mint. Do you know anything about this one?
I do not, but I love the concept. You know, the whole gaming and NFTs, I think that's a new category we're going to definitely push towards. So this is cool to see them take that lead there.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, we're almost out of time, but one thing I definitely want to get to on this information since we're talking about information, Maz, is maybe some ideas for our viewers out there. So we want to talk what to look for in drops. So Maz, I'll start here and then you tell me what you look for. So when I go into possibly minting a project at the time of the drop, I look at their Twitter. I see how many followers they have. I also see if I have any mutual followers since I follow a lot of big NFT accounts. I look at their Discord. How many members do they have in their Discord? How active? And I go to their website and I look at the roadmap, right? Are they doing future airdrops? Are they doing breeding? Are they providing long-term value? And then also, who are the founders? Are the founders, you know, anonymous? Do they have experience in NFTs? Do they have big followings on Twitter? Those are some of the items I look for. What draws your attention out there, Maz, on these new NFT projects?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is important because there's so many projects launching every single day. I've kind of changed it a bit now. So definitely the biggest thing is community. So I personally want to spend some time on the Discord before they launch, just kind of get a sense of it. Because if you join the Discord right as they're launching, it's a lot of fun. It gets hectic, it gets chaotic. So you don't really have a time to really see what the community is about. So taking time to learn about the community, seeing the size of the community, and then overall looking to see if I like the pieces, if I like the art. Because if I do like it, I'm going to probably hold it a lot longer and not just want to sell it for a quick profit or even at a loss. So, liking the art, community, and then a lot of the things that you mentioned as well, the Twitter, checking out the roadmap, absolutely helps.
Yeah, definitely. Again, guys, this is a show, the roadmap here with Benzinga, NFTs. We want to do interviews to provide, information from the founders. We also want to share information on recent drops, and we want to provide some value, right? We want to talk about what we're looking for. Maz and I both buy NFTs, right? So we're in the same boat as many of you out there where we're looking to get in on these projects. And there are some projects that end up being, duds, right? Where they just don't take off. The floor never really rises. And then, Maz, there was actually one last week on Apes of Space where they changed the minting number. This was rather weird, right? I was following this project. They were going to mint around 6,000 apes. And then halfway through the mint, because it was selling out, they actually said, hey, we're changing the number to 10,000. I mean, almost doubling their project size after people had already bought in. So again, this was a project not as well known, anonymous founders. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean huge red flag, but sometimes you have to watch because something like this could happen. And so far, the floor on this project has not recovered from that mint.
Yeah, it's a hot market right now. So people are trying to put out, you have to be careful, do your own research because there's going to be things like this happening as the market gets hotter and hotter. Absolutely. So definitely do your own research.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Maz, before we go, I just wanted to share one project that I own that I'm watching going into next week. So we have this project called Arabian Camels. So I actually bought two of these, 0.02 and 0.03. I mean, look at that. It's pretty cool, right? A screaming camel. But the reason I'm excited is they are doing breeding starting August 23rd.
Oh, yeah, look at those little guys.
So you will be able to take two camels and you'll be able to pick your traits and create a baby camel. So I'm going to take my two camels, I'm going to breed it. And the good news is you keep your adult camels. So you don't actually lose anything. You gain the baby camels. So to me, I think this is a way to gain some value from those camels that I bought. And the floor price has actually risen to 0.05 as well. Maz, any projects out there that you're looking at or upcoming events for the next couple weeks?
So yes, the Doge Pound, I'm going to decide, I'm going to try to get one of them before the, babies come out. Definitely excited for that. And then Vogu, I want to see again, these, adding these breeding, things to the platform brings on a new dynamic. Exactly. So I'm looking for one here. So I'm just spending some time. I want to find one that I like, that I want to hodl for a while. So
yeah, definitely. I want one of those baby Doges. So got to figure out how to get in this to get that puppy, right? And September 1st is the date for everyone to remember. But good call outs there. I mean, this was a great episode again, Maz. I'm going to go ahead, throw up. There's Maz on Twitter. I think it was on screen the whole episode, but if you didn't see it, here's Maz's Twitter handle. Make sure you give him a follow. Maz, thanks for joining me again on the roadmap. And viewers out there, again, let us know if you like this show. Go ahead, drop a 1 in the chat. Let us know in the comments after the episode airs. Let Benzinga know that you want more NFT coverage if that is in fact the case.
Yes, let's do it. Give a thumbs up, subscribe, make sure you let us know because we want to put more of this content out there. So it's a pleasure being here, Chris.
Well, until the next episode, that'll do it. Thanks everyone for watching Benzinga's